All right, guys, shall we start?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, great. So a few things here. I think one is that since we have kind of discussed this quite often, uh, the major news clearly is there is a clear-cut downward trend on COVID. That's very clearly coming through. Yesterday there were about 2.6 lakh, 2.67 lakh COVID cases, and a week before that on the same day it was about 3.5 lakhs. So we have a substantial drop in numbers, even though yesterday was probably the highest ever loss of life, about 4,500 people. But what we know is that the number of cases that are coming in is dropping at a very, very rapid pace, mainly because most of the country is in a lockdown, and that's really great news. I think one big news yesterday was that mm, uh, one great news yesterday. One bad news was the RBI did some research and found that the while the supply chains haven't got disrupted by much, there seems to be some sort of demand squeeze for the time being. So anyway, let's see how that plays out over the next few weeks. Yeah, Anurag's question is testing is down. Yeah, testing is definitely down, but I think there is also a reason for that, and one of them being that with most people anywhere logged in inside their homes, there seems to be lesser and lesser sort of pressure. One way, Anurag, one way to validate whether a state and a city is lying or not is to see how many people are searching for COVID symptoms. So typically, what we see is that when the number of cases keep going up, more and more people Google for COVID symptoms. So very clearly, we see that also dropping over the last week. But yes, the pattern of who is searching has definitely changed. The kind of cities that have emerged as number one are very different from what they were a month ago. There seems to be some sort of trail effect, which means that Mumbai and Delhi were in the initial 1 month, and then Bangalore, and then now some other towns and cities are kind of making up the numbers. So there seems to be obviously there is a kind of an effect where some cities have been affected later, but overall I think the numbers are coming down. But yeah, the death numbers, in fact, yesterday was the highest. 4,500 people died yesterday. Yeah, and yes, these numbers are not the real numbers. We know these numbers could be 3-4 times higher, maybe more. So that's one thing.
Yes.
But yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Shankar, if you see the join button, you can join in. I waited for you to come because you were not there, so I joined in. Now, I don't know if I can get out or not, but if you see a join button, do jump in. Sorry, Subhash, go on.
Shankar is able to join. I think we are one more, right? We can.
Yeah, I see him on the listener list, but I'm not sure. I can't see the join button. It's okay. Let's carry on.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, that's bad. Okay, so yeah, that's so overall there seems to be some sort of positive news. Plus, I think all of us kind of see fewer and fewer messages on everything. Anyway. So moving on to one, of course, the market took out 15,000 yesterday very comfortably, I would say, and I think more and more analysts are now weighing positively in terms of where the market will go. So my first question is that, and since we've already discussed the markets per se, I thought let's focus a little bit on the sectors that seem to be kind of trending. So I just want to hear your views. My take is that, like every other kind of boom, the financial services sector is going to do well. There are a lot of different parts to it. One is that, as the RBI itself said, the supply side of it doesn't get impacted, which means that people are still earning a living. People are still able to kind of move on with their lives, if not fully, but to a reasonable extent, which is one reason why we didn't see large scale movement of labor. Consumption, of course, is impacted. Some consumption more than the other, like for example, buying vehicles, etc., get impacted. But these are, as we see it with the number of cases, going to come down, which means that probably the sector that is going to gain the most is going to be banking and financial services, and that is visible in the indices as well, with the bank nifty, etc., kind of starting to turn around. Just wanted to hear your views on which sector you think is going to be hot over the next 30 days.
I think the pharma and the IT, which have done well in the past as well, should continue to do well. IT has had some bit of catching up to do, The BFSI is also likely to do well, especially I think the large private banks should do well. Commodities also should continue to do well because there is a lot of shortage of these commodities around the world. But is it a good time to enter? Because share prices of some of these companies have shot up significantly. So I would say no. I would say no. It's not a good time to enter if you're not already in this in these stocks, and wait for some sort of correction. Uh, Auto, which has had some battering in the recent weeks, and FMCG uh, should do well in the coming days as the number of cases go down and as the demand shock uh, subsides and as the good monsoon is onset. And if you don't understand, or if you don't believe, or if you don't have the conviction in any of the sectors, I think the index fund is the best one to is the safest bet, because many mutual fund schemes would struggle to beat the return of the index fund.
In fact, Amitabh, just to support your point, we just did a poll on Twitter. Pharma and IT were the top two sectors, which is in line with what you're saying. So it seems to be quite popular. Great. Vilok, your thoughts again from a technical angle. What are you seeing? What are you not seeing?
Yeah, so I think Amitabh mentioned commodities. So definitely, if you look at a couple of metals charts like Tata Steel, Hindalco, they have run up quite a bit. But they've done so when the market was mostly sideways. So from a technical standpoint, they show what is called relative strength, which is basically, when the market was going down or sideways, if something was moving up strongly, then we would call that to be, a strong relative to the market. So very simple concept. So on that basis, for a lot of charts which I saw, I looked at, I see metals being pretty strong. They're not showing any, excuse me, they're not showing any drop in momentum. So as the market picks up, these guys have already been leading stuff like Tata Steel and Hindalco, and I think they'll continue to move up strongly. We may even see a vertical move, right, before it tops out. And the other one I like is Pharma, which has also led the move in the markets, right? So before the market started moving up, stuff like I think Cipla and Dr. Reddy and Sun Pharma have moved up quite a bit. All the major ones in that sector, yeah. So these two kind of stood out to me as being strong relative to the market. So as the market starts moving up, the sector should benefit more from the existing momentum because they've already been leading when the market was sideways. So when it's going up, they should go up even more.
On commodities, I think there seems to be some momentum in the last few weeks, but are we reaching the fag end of the commodity momentum? I track gold every day, and I think there are two conflicting school of thoughts. And gold has gone up, I think, 10 or 15% over the last 3 months. But I think we're reaching a stage where this whole inflation story, this whole dollar story, all of that kind of is coming together. Is there a lot more legs? Is there a couple of months left, or we are reaching the end of it? Because you can't keep pushing commodity prices to a level. The demand will just fall off at some point in time, given the commodities kind of act as input costs in many categories. Inflation story is actually scary in that sense. If commodity prices keep going up. So are we reaching the end, or are we saying we're in the middle of it? And because crude is also operating around $70, so it can go to 100, maybe 120 for all you know. But just want to hear your thoughts, both of you, on, and Anurag, please chip in wherever you want to on this particular area. Yeah.
So I don't trade commodities personally, but what I understand from what I've read, again, this is just very second-hand kind of knowledge, is that commodities generally go for multi-year cycles, right? So if there is a trend up now, then you may see some small corrections, but overall, I think there was a huge fall, which was kind of, we saw crude going to negative for the first time in its life, right? Where the carrying costs go greater than the demand for the product itself. That happened sometime last year during the peak of the lockdown, after which everything pretty much bottomed out. I think commodities still have a way to go.
Amitav, your thoughts? You're a commodity bull of sorts, isn't it?
See, commodities this time, I mean, it has been under the prices have been under pressure for a long time now, and it seems we have entered a super cycle sort of a trajectory. But as you were saying, the entire global bank community may not want a significant increase in commodity prices because it impacts inflation and then it forces the banks to intervene in terms of the policy rates. So that's a big dilemma, and we have to see how these commodities pan out. But this time, I think it's more of a supply issue and not a demand issue per se. The prices are rising primarily because of shortages in the supply chain, which have been exaggerated due to the first wave and second wave. And let's see how these move up.
Interesting. So definitely we are positive on commodities at the moment, and we think there are still some legs. As you said, there is a supply issue here. Coming to the big one, pharma, and both of you love pharma, and clearly even the public loves pharma. It seems to be something that we reaching the fag end of the pharma momentum as well? I mean, given that whole thing has we're beginning to settle down a bit, or pharma will be a great story only if there is a wave 3, wave 4, and whatever number of waves there are going to be, isn't it? Or are we reaching the fag end of the pharma story?
See, we are still not out of this mess. Of course, the recoveries are now much higher than the daily active cases, but as you said, the deaths continue to scale new heights, and the fatality rate has already exceeded the peak achieved in the first wave. And there is also apprehension of a third wave and so many mutant variations and this black fungus disease, etc. So I think uh, for the short and medium term, the pharma stocks will be in focus and should continue to do well.
Also, Amitav, are there going to be variation that there are some kind of pharma that we're going to be more interested in? For example, the Sun Pharmas and the Torrent Pharmas, which are more into bulk, would behave very differently from the more specialist.
Because I'm not a very technical person in terms of the APIs and the bulk formulations.
Amitav, we
So
can't hear you.
I'm not sure because I do not have expertise on the technical side of pharma.
Sure.
If somebody else can take it up.
Sure. Willow, your thoughts on within the pharma sector?
So I think looking at the larger chart, when you asked that question, I just looked at the weekly charts for some of these, and they are extremely strong. So I looked at Torrent Pharma, I looked at Dr. Reddy's is looking to make all-time highs after not a very significant correction compared to how much it's been up. Right, it's just basically retested the earlier all-time highs, and it's now looking to make new highs over I think 5,400, 600. What are the latest all-time highs? Right, I think it's 5.5. So yeah, I think the pharma thing is going to be huge again, and I don't think it has run out at all.
Great. So I'll just add a few comments from Shankar. So Shankar's added a few things. One, he's talking about the lead sectors which drove the rally so far will continue as the index has not yet more than doubled. So which essentially means pharma, which essentially means IT, banking and financial services. All four, I think, have kind of led the index. So these four probably will continue, a bit of auto as well. And then coming to uh, his point about commodities, I think he agrees with Vilok. We're saying demand will sustain going forward, and so his point is also about logistics being a very important element. And then he says, I would put it as beginning of the end for other sectors might outperform the sectors that were doing so well. So it's very interesting. I wonder which are those sectors that are the future sectors. So great. So coming back to the index itself.
Yes, Svash,
Yeah,
if I can take a common man's voice for 20 seconds,
please go ahead.
given all the experts, right? So I personally think that this
I
lockdown.
don't know. You have to speak up a little louder. I think there's some tech issue. I think
Can you hear me, guys?
very softly actually.
Okay, better? No.
Yeah, a little better. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying that my sense is that the lockdown and open out cycle is going to play out 3, 4 more times still, right?
Hmm.
And especially in the next 30 days, right? I see the open out sentiment playing out rather than the lockdown sentiment playing out, right? And for that, I think the two-wheelers, the four-wheelers, the cement, the PVRs of the world, right? The airlines, right? Those are the kind of lifestyle retail, right? Those kind of sectors should look more promising over the next 30 days. And if we start to see one more cycle of lockdown coming up, then again these ITs and CPGs and banking and all that comes back in play, right? So that's my common man sentiment around how what I've been seeing over the last 6, 8 months.
No, that's totally commonsensical. I guess that's totally commonsensical. You're right. And I think the moment it starts to open up, and this time the opening will be a little different from last time, right? With hopefully, if let's say we are saying July first week or so, we will have a lot more people kind of vaccinated by then. And which is also one reason why I think Dr. Reddy's is doing well because of the Sputnik vaccine. So I think you're right. And this time, I think hopefully we will not have a third wave. We're going to get into more of this. So, yeah,
That's
coming
imminent,
back to, sorry.
That's imminent, a third wave.
All right. Coming on to the index itself, any thoughts, guys? One final thoughts, 10 seconds each in terms of where you see the index in the next 1 week or 10 days.
Yeah, I'll continue. I'll keep the same opinion that I had last time, where we're going to see all-time highs before the month is out.
That was bold from the beginning, continues to be bold. But yeah, it's headed there, clearly. Amitabh, are you changing your opinion?
It may just touch the 52-week peak, but I was intrigued by the fact that some of the brokerages are still giving a target of 15,700 for the year end, which is not significantly high from the current levels. So let's see.
Yeah. So either way, we're looking at all-time highs, I think, in a matter of couple of weeks, maybe. That's interesting. That's very interesting. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining, and hopefully Shankar will get him on board next time directly.
Thanks a
Have a
lot,
good day.
everyone. Bye.